get going to the NBA Finals.
The Dallas Mavericks are NBA champions.
I don't know how I'm going to feel after winning an NBA championship. I'm just looking for the opportunity again.
Playoffs is somewhere we need to be every year. Guys know what it means to win now.
The Thunder win the series.
To put the proverbial nail in the coffin.
I'm not with that. I define success by championships.
Not two, not three.
I've been with my entire career. It's pretty weird.
There was no doubt that this was the best fit.
Westbrook exploding to the rim. I can't stop.
The last time Dirk Nowitzki and Dallas were in Miami, they were hoisting the Larry O'Brien Trophy as NBA champions. Tonight, LeBron and the Heat will try to, I guess, they're going to try to sweep the season series. They didn't get a whole lot of satisfaction out of winning that first one after losing the title.
Go out there and play the game, you don't worry about it. All the other stuff is, I think it's because LeBron James, the Heat, we give him extra attention. But at the end of the day, unless that finger's broken, I applaud him. They taped it up. He goes back out there and has a good ball.
How much of a bother will it be? He says on plays where you got to squeeze the ball, when you got to rebound, when you got to dribble, that's where he feels it. But again, it is his offhand.
Offhand.
Kobe Bryant has set the standard for all-star guards. Kobe should have had surgery a couple of times.
That's right.
Didn't have surgery, taped it up and played. So
About rebounding?
no, he just has to, show that he wants the ball. Dennis Rodman was one of the greatest rebounders ever. You couldn't box him out. He has to go to the ball. And another thing with LeBron and his finger, like if he doesn't really want to score, then he should get the other two involved.
Well, also,
he should take these next couple games off, get the other two involved, and have that Magic Johnson effect.
well, when there was some turmoil,
It's another gorgeous night in Miami and another capacity crowd inside the American Airlines Arena for Game 1 of our NBA TNT doubleheader, all brought to you by State Farm. It's the defending champion Dallas Mavericks and the reigning Eastern Conference champion Miami Heat. Key personnel right there. Defensively, our eyes are on Sean Marion, but you like to start with Dirk Nowitzki.
The Finals MVP over the last 8 games, averaging 26 points, 45% from the field, and 40% from downtown.
And for the Miami Heat, coming in at 35 up and 13 down with the best home record in the NBA at 20-2.
And Chris Bosh normally plays better here in American Airlines Arena. He hasn't had a 10-plus rebounding game this month. That's something that he's going to have to shore up against these Mavericks.
It's been the road where Miami has been having some problems. As you take a look at LeBron James, Monday at Indianapolis, dislocated his finger, his ring finger in his non-shooting hand. Before that, back on the 20th of March, Reggie took an elbow injury as he fell down. He was hit in the neck, head area as he collides into Grant Hill. I mean, he has really been banged up. And he comes in tonight, practiced fully yesterday, but not 100%.
Yeah, and speaking with Eric Spoelstra earlier, they had a good court time yesterday, about an hour 15, hour 20 minutes of a hard, almost preseason-like practice for this team. And what made it interesting is everyone wasn't upset about the practicing. They understood because of their last 2 efforts, there was no energy, there was no effort, so everyone was on board.
And you see that note there on the Miami Heat. When you look at the Dallas Mavericks and where they are, to me, they seem like an ascending ball club. They're getting healthy. Active tonight will be Delonte West and Brendan Haywood. That is a good start. Here is Carter with another triple try and picked up by Joel Anthony. It's Chalmers and LeBron inside, scooting right into the defense of Vince Carter. And Sean Marion. James on him, looking to feed. Turnover number 1 right there, and Wade to LeBron.
There is no team in the league that's better from going from defense to offense. You can't turn the ball over or have long shots. You see the missed pass here by Marion, and in transition when you've got Dwayne Wade and LeBron James, 2 of the best finishers in the game. First ballot Hall of Famer and Jason Kidd, a guy that can survey the floor, has eyes in the back of his head. You just got to run and be active.
Wow, that's an aggressive move inside by Chris Bosh, who has much better statistics in camp-like schedule. Spoelstra told us shot clock here at 3. Chris Bosh over the long defense of Wright with an offensive rebound by Battier. Wade on the fly, using the glass. Pretty shot by Dwayne Wade, who against Oklahoma City on Sunday did not. Lamar picks up his first personal foul.
Look how much ground Dwayne covers on that spin move. Right there. Wright has him, but it's the Pearl move that creates the separation and the nice touch off the glass. But if you're Lamar Odom behind Chicago, they found a way to win the Eastern Conference and get to the NBA Finals. So they know if they need to get a game on the road, they certainly can.
Wow, what a move by James on a crossover into Dirk, and he gets 2 right there. Nowitzki reaching in, and LeBron's got 10.
Maybe other than Oklahoma City, but I think Miami, 21 against OKC, 17 against the Pacers.
Odom is in the game for Dallas. Chalmers with the drive. James from outside. He's 4-7. And they go in, and it's caught by Chris Bosh. Bosh with the 5 rebounds we talked about before. He's cornered. Odom again. Nice defense by Turion. Boy, gives him size and shot blocking. Quick hands. Chalmers. LeBron James. LeBron's got 13. Miami has got their lead up to now 78-65. This is their biggest tonight. Getting it from various quadrants, and here it's LeBron James. Timeout in Miami. He's there and said, you know, what can we have? He said, well, we already got a guy named Don Meredith. We've got a guy to the Naval Academy who's going to join us in a couple years, Roger Staubach, and Craig Morton. I mean, there wasn't a lot of room. This is back in 1967. LeBron with the interception and the drive the other way. Nice transition points for Miami.
You can't turn the basketball too short, but too long.
But it was a lot down, you know, below his knees. Here we got one now. 7 to shoot. Wade sneaks one into Haslam. Haslam finds it with his 23.
Haslam has done all afternoon. Look at this. Nice roll here. And look at the finish. Where's the rotation over? Looking in that zone, you look over the top. As soon as you get the basketball, you see it.
Where they're playing with the energy, all the things I think that Spoelstra wanted to see against a quality opponent. Right? Wade slips right by Kidd and extends Miami's lead now to 11. They've been up by as many as 13, and a timeout taken. 3:48 to play. Miami looking to get back on track, recalibrate, and move within the conference. Wade is getting his first points there of the half. Dwayne now with 16 for the game. He's got 9 rebounds with his 16 points.
I think he heard us about trying to get to 10-plus rebounds. You see how he sprinted for that one? Usually guards would go get that.
Marion is in. They go into Bosh. He finds some traffic, and he's fouled inside by Brendan Wright. So Chris Bosh is playing the kind of game they needed from him. That's the second foul on Brandon for Dallas.
Something that's been missing all night for the Mavericks. Where's that weak side help? Look how far this pass comes out from Chalmers to Bosh. And if you're...
Dallas hasn't lost a regular season game here since the 03-04 season. 7 consecutive regular season wins for Dallas. James! He'll fly with a terrific feed and just gives the Miami Heat their biggest lead tonight. A 7-0 run, and LeBron finishes with a flourish.
Oh, no.
19 points.
Didn't.
How about that pass to right
My
on the
goodness,
money?
LeBron James.
Fun to watch.
Are you entertained?
It's now in his second season. Going inside, Gian Lamb.
Yes.
But it's
Contest
tough right back,
everything.
yes.
Nothing is free here.
Rick Carlisle told us before the game, we almost don't even care where we're placed in the playoffs. We just want to get in the playoffs. They didn't make many strides tonight, did they?
Well, again, 1 or 2 games in the Western Conference, you can find yourself out looking in like Houston is right now in that nice spot.
And looks like Miami is back on track. They've recalibrated themselves, perhaps, and a very substantial win over the defending NBA champions.
They brought the energy and the effort. It was there from tip. They played at a consistent level defensively, and they got contributions off the bench from their role in supporting players.
6 in double figures for the Heat. Let's swing it over now to Craig Sager.
Well, LeBron, all week long we've been hearing your coach say your team lost the identity. Hard practice yesterday. Do you think you found it? And if so, what does it mean?
We got better today. That's the most important thing. We got better. We didn't take a step backwards like we did in our last 2 games. So, we're happy about that.
They knocked you out of the finals last year. Particularly, you had trouble against their zone. You've now swept them this year in the regular season. What have you done differently in attacking their zone?
Well, we know we got to play good against the zone. A lot of teams try to keep us out of transition, so they go zone, and we didn't play well against it last year. So we've been working on it throughout practice, throughout shoot-arounds to get better. And it was good to see us, execute today versus.
Most feel you have a better supporting cast this year on the bench. The numbers haven't shown it, but tonight it did. What contribution did you get from them?
UD, Norris, Shane, Roney, them guys all came off with a lot of energy, not only defensively but offensively as well, and they helped us get this win tonight.
Thanks a lot. Great game. Let's get back over to Kevin.
Miami had 22 more points in the paint, 13 more points at the free throw line, and Miami had 15 more rebounds than Dallas tonight. Our producer, Rodney Vaughn, our director, Renardo Lowe, our associate directors, great job by Bert Bondi and Sammy Polis from Denver, Colorado, via Evanston, Illinois, and our production assistants, Donzel Floyd, Ron Mojica. Our statistician, Pat McGrath. Miami wins their 15th consecutive game at home. Final 106-85. Miami over the Mavs. For Reggie Miller, Craig Sager, the rest of the crew, Kevin Harlan saying good night from Miami. We'll take a break, then take you to Ernie Johnson in Atlanta, and then to Marv Albert in Los Angeles. You're watching the NBA on TNT.
Before we get to the highlights of the Mavs and the Heat, it's a special edition of Inside Tracks. You're accustomed to hearing the coaches wearing mics during a game, but tonight in Miami, we had the Mavs' Jason Terry and the Heat's Dwayne Wade wired for sound. Here is some of what we heard.
Good rebound, Vince. Get with Hack. Get with Hack. Hack. Come on, Hack. Take care of the ball. We don't need no turnovers. Nothing to hurry.
It's the second opportunities or the loose balls that we're not coming up with. Those ones we got to secure. Okay? If they hit something end of the clock, we got a hand there. We live with that, but we can't give this team extra possessions.
I just needed an easy bucket. We got to get stopped.
Yeah.
We got to get some consecutive stops. They score too often, man. All right, it's time right now to get some consecutive stops. I thought he was still about to dunk that. He could have dunked that.
Thanks to the Jet, thanks to D. Wade for wearing the mics.
I hope everybody enjoyed that, Ernie, because they were 6 for 21 combined, so it's the last time they're going to be wearing those mics. I guarantee it.
Point well taken. Early on, there's LeBron James. Attacking the rim. Dirk.
The iron leg jumper. Yagak.
There you go. 1 point lead. Jason Terry. He will launch the three and knock it down. They're up 5 after 1. I like this little move by D. Wade.
Well, he gets Brandon right in the spin cycle there. It looked like they were in the zone, got around him, and then just an incredible shot up over the top, uses the glass.
3D, you were talking about Norris Cole.
Yes, Norris stepped up in a big way off the bench tonight, along with Chalmers. Point of attack was on point.
Meantime, Nowitzki. He'll get to the glass.
Ooh, Shaq had a little butter on that one because he got the roll.
Should have been the Uno one.
Mario Chalmers for three, 60-53 at the half. Miami in the third. LeBron.
Oh, nice pass.
That was a sweet feed to Chris Bosh, 10-point lead. LeBron. That's a lazy pass right in the middle of nowhere, and he makes it pay. Miami up 8 after 3. Your man.
Udonis Haslam.
It's
for the jam.
It's 88-76. It was a 26-13 fourth quarter. D. Wade kind of jammed his finger on that play, but he stuck around, and he needed the evidence to see how he was feeling. This might suffice. Two-hander.
Working on the block, just that kind of speed. Jason Kidd, a very physical point guard, but not as fast as that fella.
Little 9-0 run at the end of the game to absolutely put this thing out of reach, and the Miami Heat win it 106-85 over the Dallas Mavericks, so they sweep the season series, beat them on Christmas Day 105-94. This one goes big time, 21-point win for the Heat, and kind of a tale of two halves for the Dallas Mavericks. And you see 32-point second half. That's not going to get it done. Neither is 28% shooting.
Well, something alarming about the Mavericks are only 1-19 this year when they're down after 3 quarters. You'd think a team with championship medal would find ways to win games when they have deficits. They've not been able to do that this year for some reason. A lot because Dirk and JT have not been effective in the fourth quarter.
And also, too, you throw in Lamar Odom and Vince Carter. They haven't helped out to that point right there. Normally when Jason Terry's not going, somebody off the bench like Lamar Odom or Vince Carter will step in and get something going. Neither one of those guys had anything going tonight.
Thing about Lamar Odom, at least he's making a few shots. He was 4 out of 6 in this game, 4 out of 5 in the previous game. They may have a parade in Dallas. Western Conference standings, and you see Dallas now at 29-23, and there is a jumble there. Look at all those teams. Roughly the same number of losses. A lot can happen here over the last 17, 18 games of the season.
Absolutely. Utah playing their best basketball of the season. And then Dallas tomorrow after this. They got to forget this one, Shaq. They play Orlando. So they looked for a split during this 2-gamer. But now they got one chance to get it.
I find that very interesting. 1 and 2 will probably stay the same. But 3 through 8, it's going to be very interesting to see what happens.
Eastern Conference, meantime, with Miami's win tonight. Of course, they're trying to chase down the Chicago Bulls. And this was their first game all season that Miami did not have a 20-point score.
Wow.
Yeah, they had Braun with 19, Bosh
wow.
with 19, and Wade with 16. They're 2 behind Chicago on the loss side. The whole thing when you look at the East is staying out of 7-8. Because you know you're going to get Chicago or Miami, whichever one of those poisons is going to finish. Who's going to finish on top of the East?
I think Chicago.
Chicago, for sure. But really? you know how hard Boston is pushing to make sure they win the Atlantic, because they got to get up to 3. They cannot face one of those 2 teams in the first round.
Yeah, Philadelphia and Boston. That thing is so tight, and really, you're going to be 3-4. You're going to get home court, or you're going to go. You could drop to 7, and that's where Boston was earlier this week. So you're fortunate.